divided and divided. Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up.
What is going on, guys? It's Adam, aka Marf. We're going to be right back with a ton of news, including Earth, pole shift, all sorts of things going on right now, including meteors keep coming, and, of course, everything that's down here on our little planet. Big news right now. So everybody needs to start preparing, and I'll let you know why in just a moment. We'll be right back.
Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up. And we so down. Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up. And we so down.
Remember, nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone with the show. Remember, this is a live show, so anything can happen. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. With that being said, let's have a fun time.
And we so down. Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up.
All right. What is going on, guys? My name is Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. If you've never been here before, this is live on several channels here. We've got Marfoogle TV at 118,000 subscribers. We have our main channel, which is verified over there again as well, 155,000 subscribers, Marfoogle News. And then, of course, we have our D-Live family, which is growing, and over 21,000 followers over there. So we've got a huge family over there watching as well. So we're going to go through a lot of stuff. So keep in mind, you can always go to our website, marfooglenews.com. In fact, it's all organized by thumbnail, so you'll actually see this, and you will be able to click on it on our website, which I'll show you real quick, and you'll be able to get to every single article, every single tweet, every single video we show you. We actually give you the access to it so you can actually go and check it out for yourself. In fact, when you do that, you end up having access to everything, including the caller info down at the bottom. After a live caller calls in, we have Dex actually adding it in as we go. So again, you'll see this on our main page. You can follow all of our different things. And then on the right side of any video, you'll be able to see any of the sponsors. If you see something you wanted to purchase and help the show, then you can end up doing that as well. As you can see, every single article is here, so you can follow along, or you can go back 10 years later if we still exist, and you can end up reading where we got this and put a lot together. That's how we've actually put together a lot of stuff in the past. If you look leading up to what happened now, we were talking about this 6 months ago, 9 months ago, 12 months ago. If you watch the show, you already know that. We talked about, why are they buying all these gas masks? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? It was very weird. With that being said, let's bring in Dex. Dex is going to be screening calls. He helps co-host the show. Dex, are you there, and can we do a sound check?
Hello, Adam. I am here, and hello, Foogle fam.
So Atlanta got hot since the last time we did show it. In fact, it was just happening as our last show on YouTube was airing. And what happened at that Wendy's, it caused a lot of reaction from the crowd. Have things calmed down there in Atlanta, or have they gotten worse?
Yeah, there's still been a lot of peaceful protesting, which is what we're known for. It's interesting. They're really looking right now for the person. They've got a lot of video evidence of the person who burned down the Wendy's. It appears to be a female, and they're not sure who it is. They're dressed up in what do you call it, black bloc or whatever, all decked out. But that's the big thing right now, is trying to find that, and they do want to prosecute. And then we have a big news coming potentially tomorrow as to whether or not they're going to prosecute the officer. So we've got to wait and hear tomorrow what that announcement is.
Well, and not only that, you actually see someone recording her and saying, that's not us. That's not our group. That's not the protesters. That's somebody else, and we're not responsible for this. And they actually did it live right behind her. They were about 15 feet behind her. So I'm kind of surprised with the technology they have right now that they don't have her, or they probably do. Who knows? They might already have her in custody, or they might have taken her in and she might have been bailed out by, whatever group she might have been with. We don't know. So go straight into the news. We've got a ton here. And obviously, a lot of my constituents here on YouTube have been talking about pole shift. I wanted to go into that because some weird things have been happening, and not everybody knows exactly what's going on with that. Is there a major hack going on? We're just asking questions here. A lot of cell phones went out, and it wasn't just one brand. It wasn't just one company. It wasn't just T-Mobile. It was AT&T. It was Sprint. It was all these different companies that lost cell phone service. Now, some of them now are kind of merged, so we kind of understand why if one big one goes down, then the rest. But we had massive, and I mean massive, cell phone outages where you could not call emergency services if you wanted to. People could not text. People could not go on the internet. People could not call. So this is way bigger than people think. And in my opinion, is something else bigger is going on here. But they, of course, would never tell the public that. And again, what do you guys think? I would love to see it in the chat. We're going to briefly cover that in a second here. And then again, we've got T-Man stuff, signed a new executive order against brutality and things like these. So this is all coming out as well. It says T-Man, Senate, GOP seek police changes as D's urge more. It says embracing a new priority, President D has set to announce an executive actions on police procedures, and Senate Republicans are preparing a package of policing change as the GOP rushes to respond to the mass demonstrations over the deaths of Mr. Floyd and other black Americans. It says it's a sudden shift for the Republican Party. One D, and I don't like saying that word, are watching warily and crush of activity that shows how quickly the mass protests over police violence and racial prejudice are transforming national politics. So again, if you are new to the show and you don't know why I say some things I do, I mean, I don't do a perfect job at it, but because that we are actually fighting algorithms and not people. In fact, it's crazy how many filter words there are now. They would prefer it to all be, kids hacks videos on how to bring candy to school and 15 ways a tall girl and a short girl are different and have it acted out in Russia and all that. But again, that's the direction that it feels like they want to go. We're not that direction. So we'll talk about that probably at length at some point if we continue to have somewhere to talk about it. Confusion reigns as Seattle's seized 6 blocks known as CHAZ purportedly changes name to CHOP. We're not trying to secede. So now they're completely changing. And I was there in person. Again, I talked to one of the guards, and they said that this was a sovereign nation, that this is, you are leaving the USA. It almost seems like when they did it, they're just a bunch of people were like, oh, let's do this. Oh, now we're a sovereign nation, or what? I don't know what was going on. It didn't seem super organized. I don't think they knew exactly what they were doing at the beginning. Of course, they had food that ran out in like 6 hours, and then they were all tweeting like, please bring, vegan substitute and food and water and things like this. And then I was there when they brought the kind of reinforcements. I took a picture of them getting that water and stuff, instantly got surrounded by people. And most of you guys know, I stay as neutral as I possibly can. I was there as a citizen journalist, and it felt like, if I would have said the wrong answer, what would have happened? Like, would I have been taken into that doorway into some boarded up building? I don't know. Again, it did feel like that. I'm just telling you what I felt and how I felt. As far as walking around, yeah, it was street festival vibe, but it was like with a camera, everybody was staring at you. Even in my pictures, you can see that everybody is like staring. Some people are tapping each other like, look. I mean, I've never seen that, where you take a picture of a broad amount of people and everybody's pointing. It was something out of the Twilight Zone. It really was. So anyways, and again, I'm not against protest. I'm not against, freedom of speech. As far as the 6 blocks go, there's a lot of debate on what is actually happening there. I do know I've spoken to people that live in apartments in that neighborhood, and they are not all happy because obviously, think about if you live in an apartment building on, say, 13th and Pike, and you normally drive to work and home to work, and you just drive into your garage, you push a button, it raises, you go into your parking garage, you go home. Well, when it was set up like this with temporary barriers, you actually had to check in. You had to wait for somebody to be at their car, and they're wandering around. I mean, like, their own people were trying to bring in a generator for their show that they were doing. They were doing a concert, and the woman waited for about 40 minutes, and then until the guy with the one car parked in between the barriers could come and then move his car out of the way. So I was thinking, if you were a resident, you waiting 45 minutes to get into your own house, that's kind of absurd. And I don't think that's fair to the people that live there. To the people that live there that aren't involved in any way, that have tear gas going into their windows, and that's the only reason they're a part of it now. Several people said that they live around there. They weren't even involved in it. When the tear gas got into their house, they ended up just coming down and spending time outside because they couldn't breathe in their apartments. Is that fair? No. So there's a lot of debate over this. I see a lot of people that are only, and this goes both ways, that are only grabbing the statistics that they need to back up their side. People are just shutting off. They're saying, I don't want to hear it. No, I don't even want to hear it. I've heard it all. You've heard that. And they're literally, I mean, this is causing so many Facebook battles between family members, my family included, just people tearing apart each other, calling each other names, doing all of this stuff. It's like, come on. It's really lame, and it's divided, and it literally needs to stop. We need to reunite. It doesn't matter if you believe in this side or that side. You know, people need to listen. Again, people don't listen. They say they're listening. They say, I've researched it all. No, you haven't. You haven't spent 8 hours a freaking day researching the other sides. Why don't you put yourself in somebody else's shoes and then go research their side as well, and then try to put everything together. See where the other side might be right. Because they all can't just say complete bull crap the entire time, especially mainstream. They can do a chunk of it. They can twist it. So you got to get both sides, and you have to untwist what they've done and then find the truth there. Anybody who went to that neighborhood could tell that both sides are twisting it. This one is super peaceful. This one, there's warlords. It's not like either. It's right in the middle. So it's easy to see when you go there. It's a very odd situation. But again, one exaggerates this way, one exaggerates the other way. It's not like that either. So everybody has kind of thrown, hey, well, this statistic says this, and then the other side has in their pocket, well, this statistic says this. None of these people ever showed up at a rally or a protest before the 3 months ago. In fact, those same people after September, that absolutely tragic day in 2001, they were all putting lines on the back of their car, especially after that guy was crazy and he was taking out, police left and right and stuff like that. Everybody had the blue line on their car. After 2001, they were heroes, along with first responders, firemen, and policemen that ran up the tower first before anybody else. And then again, you had just up until 3 months ago, people were clapping, and that included clapping for first responders. That included the police. So 3 months ago, people were clapping every night at 8 p.m., and it's just funny because everybody talked about how they were kind of pushing them up as heroes, and then boom, all of this happened, and now it's like it's a crescendo. It all got torn back down. Now even fire and police, fire and medic and stuff like that, like their Lego is not advertising fire sets, police sets, or medic sets, or hospitals, any of it. They're taking their funding away from it. They're not trying to advertise it. Little things like that. It's like, did the firemen and all the different kind of things that happened from this. And it did. It created waves through everything. So I'm not saying that police are good, I'm not saying police are all good, but I'm definitely saying they're not all bad. And people definitely agreed. On Twitter, we did a poll, and it said, are you racist if you support police? 97% out of like 700 said no. So at least we all know that that's not what people are saying, or it's not what they're trying to say. It's that it has to change. Change is good. It's harder to do. But again, I feel for the good people that are getting hurt through this on all sides. The good people, no matter what, the good people, the people that have saved lives, the people that have risked their life to protect people. I'm just like, what happens to them right now? It is very hard. It's hard for everybody. It's triggering for everybody. So again, I just want to tell you guys, we need to be positive. We need to love each other. We need to talk to each other about this. If somebody's triggering you to the point where you're both raising your voices, that's the point where you either walk away or you say, can we please talk about this calmly? Can we please listen? Even set up, I'll do 5 minutes, you do 5 minutes. We'll do it until this is, we meet a middle ground, especially if it's your family, because we don't need to be fighting with our families right now. That's the worst. This is tearing apart families. Just saying. Again, the big corporations and the big companies, they have proven, there's a million studies behind this. You can go ahead and research it. The things that get shared on Facebook, which through the Cambridge Analytica, we found out all this stuff. All of the viral stuff is stuff that triggers us, stuff that is moral, stuff that is extreme in one way or the other. And those are the things that people share the most, because it is right where they believe. And they share that and they push it and they stand up for it. Again, that's great for them, but for the corporations that are tagging along and doing that and, gathering these viewers from that, they're taking advantage of that. They know that goes further. What's crazy is all these companies have background companies that do these advertisements, and they're offenders. They do it all the time. So all these videos, did you not see? I posted a bunch of them. A lot of the videos that we've been watching over the last few weeks were actually paid for and promoted. It actually said promoted ad on Twitter. So somebody's paying for that to gain eyes that weren't normally watching it. So, and now it's not a good thing to ask why this is happening. Why are we seeing both sides too? And, people retweeting. I've tried to stop retweeting the videos of this doing to that, this doing to that, because what that does, somebody says, well, where's the outrage here? Where's the outrage here? When it's a reverse situation, that is causing outrage because people are going, well, what the heck? Then it goes back and forth and they do one video after another after another. So I'm done with my rant. Again, this is hitting everybody where it hurts. Like everybody is triggered by this. Everybody is mad. Can we get through this together? Can we literally and honestly look at it ourselves and try to say, we might, just may be consumed by these little content snippets that are changing our minds about things? It's again, when... And again, the fights that go on for 2 days over Facebook, you're not going to convince that other person to think like you. They're not going to convince you to think like them unless you were able to not only say your point, because they're not going to change their mind, and then say it in their phone 24 hours a day, have every search algorithm that actually confirms their own bias, and then it morphs into something else. I don't know if you guys know this, but all of the search engines are catered to you. So when you look up statistics or even ask a question, it's going to do it the way that it knows that you want it to be. So there might be 10 articles. One of them might be saying, yes, the statistics are this, but that's false because of this. It will pull up that one article instead of the 9 others that are just straight up factual, and it will give you the opinionated one that agrees with your opinion. So that is a scary thing, and that is what is going on right now with online. You don't have to watch the news. You don't have to watch any of these channels anymore. It's on your phone. It's in your head. It's everywhere. So I hope we can all really come together. We've got to survive this, and this is getting worse. Nobody can really deny that. With that being said, they reached a deal, and they actually took out the temporary barriers, which I showed you. They were orange barriers, and they added concrete ones. The city gave them concrete barriers. For some reason, I thought Tuesday was the day that they were going to come in and say, you got to go. But apparently they reached a new deal, which were like, no, we'll actually give you permanent barriers that are concrete. I don't understand what the deal with that is. Again, Dex and myself thought this was weird. It says, police chief seeks peaceful resolution. Chief correspondent Jonathan Hunt reports from Seattle. It says the city of Seattle and protesters occupying the, quote, Capitol Hill organized protest. Remember, this is CHOP now. They do not consider themselves sovereign, or that's what some are saying now. So they're not saying we want to secede. They're not saying we're not a part of Seattle, which is kind of a good thing for half of the people that was what made them mad. It says, have reached an agreement that will remove the temporary roadblocks put in place by protesters and replace them with concrete barriers. So, do we know this is true? We don't know, because Fox News is reporting this. We could get something from the opposite side saying, no, these are actually concrete road bumps. Who knows? We don't know. But again, that's what they're saying. I'll go and actually see for myself if it's concrete or if it's, if it's orange. Again, a lot of people, there are some people, some of my friends have just been completely taken off over this subject. And now they're like completely like they can't do a single thing on this platform. So pretty rough. John, yeah, if you guys know John has been completely removed. So again, these are the things that are happening. If you guys want to support us in a different way, obviously a lot of us are talking about this. Israeli News Live, Stephen Banoun is talking about this. There are several steps that we believe would be a very bad thing to happen in this country. And some of them are kind of playing out in the precursor. EMP shield is a good way to protect yourself just in case. What it does is it actually blocks against an EMP blast. It, in fact, blocks against all three phases, E1, E2, and E3, which means anything that might come at us, and multiple times, it can actually ground the signal before it fries your device, your car, your home, your boat, your ham radio. Anything that is, they have devices for all the different things here. It will protect you against that and solar flares. So coronal mass ejections, the natural kind. If you guys want to check this out again, there's if you have it on your car's going to run after an EMP, or at least it's going to start. And then the generator protection, if you've got that, even if the grid never comes back up, you've got your home and your generator, both with EMP shield. They can work in coordination, and actually you're set. Again, people have solar systems thinking that will be the solution, but what if those get fried? If those are protected, again, you've got your solar system, your generator, and your house, your car. You're set up like nothing ever happened. That would be the hopeful intent of this. These guys work with DOD, DHS. They are now officially helping the DEMSO team protect the Texas grid. So they're not a joke. In fact, they have contracts that we almost thought they were going to stop selling to consumers. So if you guys want to check these out, get them. marfooglenews.com/EMP, and it helps us out. All right, I'm going to go over to the chat. I want to hear what you guys think. Like, I know I'm going to lose people over this. I know I'm going to have, people hate. But I don't even think they know what we're hating about. I don't think people know why we are necessarily hating each other. It's just it's a primal rage. It's really what it's come down to. Kahaja Flygirl, I appreciate that. Thank you. I didn't see what you said on that one. Kelly2334, Angela4110, Greatest is Love, Plumber Bill, thank you guys for coming. Mr. Cornholio, awesome name. Necro13, Gone Girl 777, thank you. PMC2020, thank you guys. All of these names, you guys are here almost every show. Some of you absolutely every show, so thank you for that. Gone Girl 777, again, thank you. Elegato Knight, it's a big setup, he says. It's about people, what is going on. Brandy Renee, Ducky Hawk, Loose to Fish. They kicked out Corruption. Planet X Watcher, Joshua Hathaway, Lisa Curry 42, Fabo Lee. Faith Forever. What is going on, you guys? And then let's see here. Proud Canadian is here tonight. All right, hold on here. And then we've got Funky Blue, Julie Redmond. Thank you for subscribing. Blessed in a Bad Life. Thank you for pledging on Patreon just a couple days ago. And Butterfly Babe, thank you for being the last one out of the show last time. S. Cadillac, thank you for subscribing. And Travis Moore, Thank you for subscribing. If you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. Okay, so let's move on. There's here now a poll that says Americans are the unhappiest they've been for 50 years. Spoiler alert, 2020 has been rough on the American psyche. Folks in the U.S. are more unhappy today than they've been in nearly 50 years. This bold yet unsurprising conclusion comes from the CV Response Tracking Study conducted by NORC at the University of Chicago. It finds that just 14% of American adults say that they're happy. In fact, it says it's down from 31% who said the same in 2018. That year, 23% said that they often or sometimes felt isolated in recent weeks. Now 50% say that. Well, that's kind of obvious. I mean, with the lockdowns that were happening, with the restricted use of certain businesses, I mean, like businesses that you don't necessarily 100% have to have, but businesses that you like to have, like, you know, going to the gym. A lot of people, I can't even think about the people that are actually addicted to going to the gym. That is something very physical. When you stop doing that, it can mess up your entire life. I'm sure there's a lot of people that run 10 days or run 10 miles a day. Those people should be probably pretty fine. But as far as the people that are weightlifters or cardio people or yoga people, that would kind of suck. Other than that, there's other things too. I mean, there's still places in the country where hairstylists are out of work. You know, there's nail salons, this and that. Some places have reopened those things. So I don't know. Do these numbers really matter? You know, these surveys go up and down. They get, you know, these varied groups of people. Are you happy? Are any of us really happy right now? We could, you know, a lot of us can say we are, but there's so much stuff going on top of the normal stuff we already have with our families. It's pretty rough. So what do you guys think? I would love to see it in the chat. Not being able to swim messed me up big time. That, I didn't even think about that. There's pools, all the summer stuff is closed. You know, you're not going to have water parks. You're not going to be able to take your kid to Wild Waves. Crazy Granny, I don't want to pay for damage I didn't do, says Crazy Grandma. Grammy. Yes, I totally understand that. And actually, our kids and our kids' kids are going to be paying for the stimulus, and we're actually talking about another stimulus. So some of you might be happy about that, I'm sure. There's just a lot there to happen. Let's see here. I'm going to make sure I pop this open. It looks like it's not connecting. Oh, my goodness. Dex, if I could ask, the Jacob, that's not Mr. Israel, is it? Just curious. Dex, if you're probably on the phone, but I was going to see, I saw Jacob is on deck. That isn't Israel, is it?
No, it's not, Adam.
Okay, all right. Jacob, we will get you in here pretty soon here. I just wanted to make sure. Didn't want, if it was Mr. Israel, I would try to get him in a little bit sooner. Let's see here. If you guys have not called yet, or if you've never called, this is the day to call. Our number is 224400-MARF. If you want to share pictures or videos, you can actually do that with Dex. If you have something crazy that happened, it doesn't have to be exactly related to today's topics. If you have a crazy sun video or UFO video or straight up a video of military equipment in hordes being moved, give us a ring and we can actually grab that and show it to everybody. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the show right now and get into the live chat over on YouTube. Looks like it's not connected. We have 3.3 thousand watching on YouTube. Private Eye Ty says, your work has inspired me to start a series of my own called Interesting Things in an Interesting World. I'll make it a satirical and spread some positivity, especially right now. Says, keep grinding, Foogle fam. Love this community. That is actually really cool. Private Eye Tai is a great name, by the way. I hope you keep that. There was somebody else that had just already cleared up, and I didn't get to see it. Again, if you end up doing any kind of support over on YouTube, it will be on the scroller down below on the next show. Thank you guys. Anybody who ends up supporting the show, obviously we are trying to expand, and it's not the best time to do so. Looks like we have Lamb Laney, Texas Lily, John Carchia, Cynthia S, Yabba Dabba Sexy. I don't know if you're on both platforms. Rusty Bud Austin, James Shaw, Dave R, Just Lee, Matt Francis, Jennifer Harrington, Harry H. Crazy Granny says, thank you, Marv. Gloria Knapp, I'm good. I'm not going to stop enjoying life. That's dude, that is seriously the part we should all be having right now. Okay. So, are people happy? Again, that's not the kind of stuff too much that, I even pay attention to. Let's see here. This says Beijing back in lockdown. Parts of the city are fenced off and new travel bans introduced. It says Chinese authorities were reimposing some travel restrictions in the capital Tuesday as they work to contain a new CV outbreak and prevent it from spreading more widely in a country that previously appeared to have largely contained it. It says as reopenings from Europe to Latin America continued, the resurgence in China highlighted expert calls for vigilance in the fight against the pandemic. It says China reported 40 more CV infections on Tuesday, 27 of them in Beijing, bringing the city's total to 106 since Friday. At least one patient was in critical condition, and 2 were in serious condition. Part of this is, do you think that there's a lot of people that have changed their minds several times on this entire thing? What if you thought, well, now everybody's not wearing masks, nobody cares about it, and it was all kind of exaggerated? What if it just say it was all for those people? What if not only was it real, but it was on 1 or 2 cycles before it was something that would wipe everybody out? What if they could actually predict that and know that as scientists and the governments all around the world got together and said, this time it's not going to be that bad, but the next time and the time after that are probably going to wipe us all out because we can't stop it, we can't do anything about it. Just hypothetically, what if that was the case? Because I know that a lot of people have very strong, normal people are completely going against recommendations because there's so much weirdness. It was back and forth. WHO said a lot of things. They said, wear one, don't wear one, wear one, don't wear one. It was all back and forth. It travels 30 feet. Actually, it's not that great. It's on surfaces. Actually, it's not that great on surfaces. It was all sorts of different things. Then we found out about the whole thing like, oh, well, that guy got banged and then, he's got CV. This guy got hit by a train, but he had CV. Which do they call it on the certificate? Obviously, CV. So, lots of weirdness are out there, and that's what is getting a lot of normal, just people that would never kind of think like that, never go against what kind of the public opinion is, and do something else. Now, a lot of people have, especially a lot of younger folks. Even when it was full on, everybody was wearing a mask. The only people that I didn't see wear masks were younger people, and they probably either made the assumption that they were perfectly healthy, and if they did get it, whatever. And they were like, I won't get it, I'm healthy, or whatever. Or they had that kind of view of it's something that's false, it's this, it's that. So what do you guys think about this? They've told us, and most of the time when they tell us on every single platform that it's coming back and it's going to have a second wave, that means at least they're going to be telling us it's going to be a second wave, and the consequences from that will follow. So more lockdowns. Maybe the first time was just the first out of many that are going to happen. Or is there going to be a miracle, a miracle V that we all take and then boom, we're good. But you have to take it. If you're going to work, use American dollars, use European money, whatever, you have to do it. We don't know yet. So we'll see. If you guys want to support us in a different way, go to earthing.com, or I'm sorry, marfooglenews.com/earthing. If you guys don't know what this is, it's gotten me through a lot of stuff in the last year and a half. This is something, it's an actual mat. Somebody actually said, I do the patches, I like them better. There's all sorts of things. If you don't know what it is, you're going to have to just watch the movie, because it is awesome. I use the bed mat. It goes underneath my sheets. I go to sleep, and that's it. I get 8 hours of grounding, or sometimes 11 hours of grounding, and I wake up awesome. This has changed my sleep. That's the biggest thing for me. But again, it does inflammation, pain, and stress, and it's good for autism in adults and children. Again, it is actually proven to help with digestion, 25 medical studies behind it, and it supports the show. Make sure to check it out. We've had, of course, award-winning Muriel Hemingway on the show. Of course, the movie has Amy Smart, Deepak Chopra, all sorts of crazy names in it that believe in it. But otherwise, go to a Foogle family member. People have been doing this as long as I've been alive. Okay, and then we've got police detained armed militia members after man is shot at Albuquerque protest. So we've seen these stories all over the country. It says protesters in Albuquerque wrapped a chain around the neck of a bronze statue and began tugging, chanting, "Tear it down," shortly before sunset on Monday. Their efforts to pull down a monument of the Spanish conquistador Juan de Onote suddenly stopped as 4 shots rang out. It says most people instinctively turned towards the noise. Videos from the scene show a few screamed just yards away. A group of militiamen sporting military-like garb and carrying semis, rifles, formed a protective circle around the Bang Bang Men. So, Dex, I don't know if you're available, but can you come in? So, were they actually trying to save the people or trying to save the guy doing it? I don't know if you're there. You're probably.
Hey, Adam, I'm back. What's up?
So the militiamen that were surrounding this guy, were they surrounding it so other people wouldn't be hurt, or were they surrounding him to protect him?
That's a great question. I think I don't know. I don't know the answer, but the fact that we've got, we've heard rumors even as of recently that militiamen were going to be doing things at different locations, even where you are. I don't think anything came of it. I think it was yesterday. And then now we're seeing more of this happen, like in Albuquerque. And I don't know, it's just, it's very surreal that we're getting to this point where people are actually feeling they need to take things into their own hands.
So, again, somebody, which I don't even know if you saw, but somebody was like, you just said, if this is true, this is a big deal. And it was the rumor that was articles. There was a lot of people talking about it, that the Hells Angels and the Mongols were going to come to Seattle and take everybody out of CHAZ. That was the rumor. Again, you ended up posting that on Twitter, and somebody came at you like super sideways and goes, "Oh, quit spreading lies and this and that." Of course, then this is after 4 or 5 hours when they get the articles that basically say, we've talked to the representatives, the chapter presidents. They say they're not doing it. They say this and that. And, I just love it when somebody reads an article that proves something else wrong. When you originally say something, you're like, I don't know if this is true. We should check on this. We should check. And they go, blah, 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 after they have the info 6 hours later. It's like, it was just, and then they said, and learn how to spell Capitol Hill. And I just thought it was like, so it's Twitter.
I totally get it.
It's Twitter, though.
I totally get it. It is the most, it's very disheartening when that's happening, because it was literally put out there to say, get information. And sure enough, actually somebody came back and said, actually, there is an event that was for July 4th. So there's a lot of information around that. But there was no other proof on this one event except for the piece that I had, but it was given to me from someone else. And then everyone who wanted to discredit it said, you don't even know where this came from. And so I took 2 seconds and did a Google search. And instead of saying it came from my friend, I was able to find the person who originally posted it. So anybody could have looked at it and found it. It doesn't mean that it was true or not true. It was just, it is information that's being spread.
Well,
and information being spread actually has consequences because it can, and that type of information, if those people are, if somebody is actually trying to encourage that, people could actually show up. So
well,
you need to know
no.
about
And
that.
and the funny part is in their message they said, "Oh, quit spreading lies." A truck driver, because it said 100 truckers were possibly involved, and it said, "Oh, quit spreading lies. Truck drivers wouldn't risk their CDL." And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? How many things have we covered here? Like the gentleman who kept his store open until he lost every one of his restaurant licenses. Then after that, kept going without a license and got $3,000 fine after $3,000 fine after $3,000 fine, and kept going until he physically was arrested. That has happened all over the country with hairstylists. How many stories have we heard of people that own businesses that said, screw it? Same with a trucker. A trucker's
And not only that,
not
we've
a
seen
CDL.
truckers do things legally. We've seen truckers do their own version of a protest where they'll come in,
Yep.
and the truck drivers will get in a train and they'll drive extremely slow. They're not
And
breaking the law.
they're not going to lose their CDL for driving in a public street. That's for sure. Nobody was saying that they were going to just, take people out or something. But again, they also can block roads with those same semis. They can do all sorts of things that they have done. They've blocked freeway entrances and things in the past. There's been all sorts of things that have happened. But I just thought it was funny. Do you realize what is going on right now? People are doing things about principle, and they are willing to give their life, let alone their CDL. I just thought it was kind of ignorant of what's going on right now in the times that we're in. So anyways, it's just like people are saying, no, that's not logical. Nothing is logical right now. Nothing. Everything is all messed up right now. There is no logic and reason in some of this. The only logic and reason is the planned and, the scenarios that they are playing out right now, that they're going, well, if we do this, we can get them to do that. There's some planned stuff going on at the same time. So, again, this one, it says it left one man in critical but stable condition. So he's going to live, which is absolutely amazing. Pray for this person who did. It says the heavily armed individuals who flaunted themselves at the protest, calling themselves a civil guard, were there for one reason: to menace protesters, to present a unsanctioned show of unregulated force. That is, of course, coming from the New Mexico D. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham in a statement. To menace the people of New Mexico with weaponry, with an implicit threat of violence, is on its face unacceptable. What violence did indeed occur is unspeakable. As far as, and then it says, the shooting tonight was a tragic, outrageous, and unacceptable act of violence and has no place in our city, Keller said. Of course, that was the mayor, Tim Keller. Keller said in a statement, it says, our diverse community will not be deterred by acts meant to divide or silence us. Our hearts go out to the victim, his family, and the witnesses whose lives were needlessly threatened tonight. So, this is again somebody who, and they poke this in there, and I'm not going to say this. This is again something that now, if you say this sentence, you are a very bad person. This was being said, they said, by the other guys. So anybody who reads this is going to go, person says that, they're attached bad, this and that. Even people from that movement actually said in their speech, when I was there, the gentleman that was speaking for the people in CHAZ said that he goes, what he said is, it's not that we don't care about other lives and that they don't matter. He said that he wanted their lives to matter first, and then they would move on to that. So apparently there's going to be other ones after this. That was how he put it and how he said that the organization was looking at it. So just from what he said directly from his mouth. Now it says Chinese soldiers kill Indian troops in fighting along disputed border, raising fears of conflict between two nuclear powers. And yes, I said nuclear. At least 3 Indian soldiers, including a senior army officer, were killed in a confrontation with Chinese troops on a disputed frontier in the Himalayas. Straight out of a movie. They're in the Himalayas, like a James Bond flick, and 3 of them were taken out. See, if this was on the U.S. border, or if we were with a country with a U.S. border, or even, a territory, and 3 of our guys were taken out, which they have, but it's like under wraps, or we, took out an installation and they happened to be in there. That's one thing. Those are kind of recoverable. With this, 3 of them being taken out can go any which way. Here's the thing. We don't even have to get into a conflict. Here's why I think, so many people are so separated from actual conflict going on. We're so far, so many years away from when, we had this, WW2, that we just don't think it's ever going to happen again. That's just, it doesn't even have to be us. With all of our allies, any one of our allies gets in something with somebody, then we're in trouble. Or anybody, if they have a huge nuclear war between 2 parties and we're not even involved, we'll still have to be involved because it's going nuclear. So this is something that people have been watching very closely. There's been a lot of stuff going on all at the same time. So it does say that at least 3 soldiers were taken out in a confrontation with Chinese troops in the Galwan Valley in the disputed Ladakh region, which right now they're trying to snatch. That's what at least was reported by global or international news, and it was actually backed by, I want to say, Danish news that I was reading about this. So whatever happens with that, it's kind of a freaky deaky thing to think about. All right, and then Russia newspaper editors quit en masse, denouncing censorship. Senior editors at Russia's leading business newspaper quit en masse Monday in protest against what they say is censorship under new management, as a long-running dispute between journalists and the management came to a head. So a bunch of these Russian journalists actually left. They said, no, we're not doing it. And it says Vedomosti is one of the few remaining independent news outlets in Russia where journalists are increasingly squeezed by curbs on press freedoms and pressure from the Kremlin. It says, quote, all 5 deputy editors at Vedomosti are leaving in newspaper in protest over the appointment of Andrei Shamarov as editor-in-chief, the newspaper said. So from what I know from his name being mentioned in previous things I've covered last year, this guy, the whole censorship thing is, as much of a fight over there as well, or at least people are trying to get it to be where it's less. And a lot of the same people that were kind of spearheading their kind of protests, they were the same ones spearheading the entire changes with the separating their internet, things like this. There is a group, the side group, that has an online presence that says that they are fighting against them. They're kind of like their version of Anonymous. There's some weird stuff here. Again, I don't live in Russia. If you guys do, you guys can give us all the deets. Call in at 224-400-MARF. It's kind of interesting to think of how things go over there compared to here or in Europe. It's something we don't know as much about. And if we do, it's from, RT or something that's literally filtered through their government. So you never know, right? It says, launched in 1999, Vedomosti was co-founded and co-owned by Dutch entrepreneur Dark Sauer's independent media, the London-based Financial Times, and U.S. business daily, The Wall Street Journal. It has changed hands several times since its first print run, as lawmakers introduced legislation limiting foreign ownership of Russian media. It says in March, the newspaper's reporters and editors were surprised by an announcement from then-owner Demyan Kadorotsev that he planned to sell the newspaper. Shamarov was appointed acting editor-in-chief the same month before the sale was finalized. The newspaper finally and eventually sold to the head of the little-known regional news agency called Federal Press. And it says Vedomosti journalists have denounced censorship under Shamarov, saying his appointment was political. So it says they complain that they have been barred from covering negative opinion polls of President Vladimir, and that Shmarov interfered in coverage of the oil giant Rosneft. This all connects to other stuff, by the way. This is all connecting to future events. If they can actually take the people and say what they want. That's the thing. There's only a few outlets that are actually keeping some of the groups at bay because they have kind of a rough freedom of speech. But if you take that away and if you do that narrative, bad things happen. So there are connections between owners, between Shmarov, between all of these other people. This was a political change. There's things going on that we don't even think about that could affect us here in the end. So these are all setups. These are all kickoffs. Just my opinion there. Okay. We have something kind of exciting. I'm going to go to the chat first. Let's see here. We've got Gone Girl 777. Thank you so much for your continued support. New Take Crypto, La Luna 3377, Maui Racing Realtor, Just a Cat Mom, Vango 54, Kdezel. We've got Sierra 2087, Renegade. What is going on? Thank you so much for being here. Grace for you too. Nice to see you here again. Shy the Coffee, Burke, Albuquerque is my hometown. Typical, all open carry. Again, you guys get out there and take photos if you can. Gone Girl 777, Trash Panda, and Cries 97. Looks like that skipped way ahead. Cries 97, thank you for the Ninja Genie. I appreciate that. Seriously. Kaja Fly Girl. Enchanted by You, Unicorn Forest, Laura Griffith, Hags 6996. Thank you for the diamonds. Gone Girl 777. Now is the time for positivity from the intelligent Mr. Cornholio. And then we've got Memory Trigger, Dixie Doe. You're completely right, by the way. And then Mandy, PMC 2020, and Hellbent. By the way, somebody said that we talked about Spotify. Spotify is a kind of a radio podcast thing, but now they're doing videos. So I don't know if that's a possibility, but we're actually looking into it just because other big creators like, the actual big guys, Joe Rogan and them are going over. A lot of people are kind of flowing over there. James Fox, thank you for the support. I appreciate that. You can always write a message there. And then it says Jay Jazz. It says, I'm a trucker and I can tell you, we just want things back to normal. Not a new normal, just normal. That is, of course, from a trucker, Jay Jazz. Yeah, no, I agree with you as well. And then we've got our mods, Alice J. Bones, Elish, Smoky Mountain Gal, J Stone, CJ Blaze, Fish Stones, and Loaves. What's going on today? Wide Awake One, Slim Shady. What is going on? Will you please stand up? EOT2 Dave, Leslie Goth, 2006. I wonder how long you've had that screen name. It's kind of funny. I used to be able to click on a name. Could you imagine if you still had your screen name from, like, say, 2000? What would it be? That's 20 years ago. Do you guys remember Y2K? Sure, almost all of you do. Barbie, Chickawowski, thank you guys. Manny P, Tim Shelby. Okay, so by popular demand, I want to show you guys this. We are now working with EDEC. Check this out. So if you guys want to help support us, we've actually partnered up with EDEC for this. Check this out. So these are bags that can actually protect, and this is a company that has not just popped up overnight. There's a lot of those. In fact, just to show you, this one is actually the real deal. They've been around for 12 years. They've worked with FBI. They've worked with Department of Defense. These are actually the real deal bags, Faraday bags, as some call them. But they have two different kinds, and they just came out with a brand new one called the Off-Grid. So before they had ones for window, they actually had windowed bags and things like this. So this is to actually protect from outside stuff coming in. So a lot of law enforcement use these. So if they took a phone as evidence, they would put it in their evidence room. Well, in the very beginning, people could actually remotely access their phone and wipe it. So a lot of law enforcement agencies would put sensitive materials in these so nobody could get into it from any kind of signal. What this does when you put it in it is it blocks all RF, it blocks all of the signals. Therefore, say you go to the store, say you go somewhere you don't want to be contact traced or anything like that. You can actually put your phone or any valuable with GPS into one of these bags. The new off-grid one, these things are absolutely badass. So again, we looked at multiple companies. Everybody was saying that we should look into this because everybody wants them now. This, again, is something that can protect you against all of those different things. This new off-grid one is actually a little bit fancier. It is made specifically for kind of slip in and go, magnetic. It seals up. They have a huge, huge reputation. Again, you can go to marfooglenews.com/edec. If you go anywhere, slip it in and it's done. So, there's all sorts of different products there. You can, of course, go there. Use the savings code Marfoogle. Again, that's savings code Marfoogle. All right, and then let's see here. So make sure to follow me on Twitter here. There's a lot of stuff I'm going to actually load some stuff on Pole Shift. I wanted to kind of pull up some of the stuff that we've been talking about. And then Dex, we're going to line up the calls. But again, also wanted your opinion on some of what we just went over with China and Beijing, if you can and if you're available.
Well, hey, Adam, it was interesting because when I woke up this morning and I heard about what was happening with the border at China and India, and then, what's happening now in Beijing. Well, that specifically is like not CV related, right? That's tension related, conflict related between two countries. And then we've got the conflict with, the Koreas. And now we have this CV information from Beijing. I guess where I'm coming from when I woke up this morning and heard a lot of this news was more like, this is probably what we weren't going to pay attention to because of everything going on in our nation right now. All of the, the protests and the other things that are really just front and center in front of everybody right now. Like what is actually happening in the rest of the world. So this other stuff and these tensions and these conflicts that may be building are pretty, can be intense. I know it doesn't mean a lot when it's not right in your front yard where, CHAZ is literally in your backyard. So you could, you can walk down the street or drive down the street and see what's happening. So that's much more specific to any one person in their town, as opposed to things that may be happening halfway around the world. But there certainly is a lot of things that are distracting us right now from seeing what else may be happening around the world.
Well, and then everything that, again, a lot of people right now in the Foogle family are saying this is all distraction. What is really going on? We've got stuff going. We've got the first people man stuff going up into space. We've got all of these other things going on. We've got a grid being made around the planet Earth. We've got all of, the entire country in specific places or specific people having cell phones go down, complete internet outages. What is going on? Is this related to pole shift? Is this related to something else? Again, I'm going to pull that up. I do want to remind you guys, Amazon deploys new social distancing software at U.S. warehouses. So another reason, and I forgot to mention this, the other reason why we're doing this is because we have 15,000 in our Marfoogle group in our Discord. This is something that I believe is going to really come in clutch. Who knows if you'll ever be able to buy these forever. So again, with the EDEX stuff, that is one of the best companies we could get. It wasn't, they're made here. They're made, again, they're not made in China. All of these awesome stuff. So, but the main point is we need to start realizing what is being changed as we speak. We've covered over the last 3 years, obviously, with, Snowden, what he said ended up coming out with all of this other stuff. This is freaky stuff. They're putting facial recognition on almost everybody's cameras. I mean, this is crazy. Amazon.com Inc. is deploying software in its warehouses to automatically warn employees when they're too close to colleagues, the latest effort by the retailer to adjust its facilities to life with the CV. It says the new software called Distance Assistant, wow, displays camera footage on a television monitor with annotations noting which employees are following social distancing guidelines. Employees keeping a safe distance are circled in green, and those software determines are within 6 feet of someone else are circled in red, offering workers immediate visual feedback. Brad Porter, a vice president who oversees much of Amazon's robotics engineering work, likened the new tool to a highway speed check sign. In a corporate blog post published on Tuesday, he said that the system was already in use in high traffic areas and a handful of Amazon facility. Can you see a dystopian future where no one's allowed to even talk to each other? You're not allowed to whisper and, say, I don't know, gather and rebel or mutant, a mutiny type situation? Can you see farther down the road where we're all used to staying 7 feet away from each other and never getting into groups, never going to lunch together, never sitting down and talking about this, like, this isn't working, we got to all gather up and quit, or we got to all gather up and take this over? That wouldn't happen in the dystopian future where none of us can go within 10 feet of each other, which will probably happen in the future.
We're totally getting boiled, right? Like the frog, cold water. I mean, because it's like little pieces. And when you look at just one thing, it's like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's going to help people from spreading CV to one another, right? Or when you think about, oh, well, it's just going to be facial recognition so we can catch the bad guy, right? But when you start to put all of the pieces together, thousands of pieces, which turn into hundreds of thousands of code pieces, and then you give it life, which is what AI is going to do, you're exactly talking about a world that is it's going to be able to control everything, and they can put rules in place that exactly what you're talking about.
And it's like, with everything that's going on, this is only going to get worse. I mean, this is only going to get even crazier, and we're accepting it because it's done in subtle, small steps. And then all of a sudden, our entire way of living is completely different. We accept this. I mean, most of us rolled over and said, okay, the one-way aisle, all the stuff that they did, it's nuts. Ed G. Whalen, thank you again. Foogle fan, thank you for giving out subscriptions. Again, I see Capper85 and Golden3. What's up, you guys? The subscriptions on DLive are the Marfia badge. So basically, it makes your name stick out further and easier to see. But it's also shows that you are supporting the Foogle fam. So thank you, guys. Thank you for gifting that to him. That's awesome. Rebel Snarfle, I appreciate you. WF, Alberton and Awake. Alert and an Awake, NKY. Amazon using computers rather than people for most things. Aramanita, have you read The Naked Sun? Great book representing what you're talking about. No, I actually have not. I will definitely check it out. I will look it up. In fact, Dex, I think we could most likely even link that. Well, I'll pull it up and actually show people what it is. Again, thank you, Aramnita. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Thank you for coming in. That's a global partner. If you ever see a white check mark or a gold check mark, they've put in work over here on DLive. Not only are they creating for other people, but they are actually, they've got a community of their own. In fact, any check mark here means that they've spent their time and they've created a network of people. So make sure to be polite and always nice to them as well. And make sure to go follow. Frog Boiling 101 says Rebel Snarfle. Exactly. Suzvalia just received a 1-month subscription from Patty1970. Thank you so much. Aylin, it's like the movie Equals. Deleted BB, thank you for following. Minnesota Man. So there's a lot going on, obviously, and we've got to keep watching. It's only going to change for kind of the worst now. So what can we do to prepare? How can we stay positive through all of this? And how can we actually put something out, that's going to move us forward? And as a group, at this point, we need to start organizing and really be close and look past each other's differences and honestly come together and push love instead of all this hate. I see everybody just pushing tons and tons of hate right now. Okay, let's see here. Again, nothing in the show. You guys know that. I'm going to make sure to put that up there. We're going to be opening up the phones here. I'm going to pull up some stuff. We're going to talk about pole shift. If you are somebody, I wanted to get some special guests on this week. Might even, let's try to get a hold of like Wages World or somebody like that. I know that they are doing some cool stuff right now. Dex, will you pull in the first caller? And then I'm going to look up a couple things here.
Hey, Adam. Yeah, our first caller is Jacob. Jacob, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Hi, Mark. It's great to speak with you tonight. First time caller and been listening to you for a long time.
Well, what's up, Jacob? So, what would you like to talk about?
Regarding the CEV, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Can I go ahead?
Go ahead.
Regarding the CEV, there's a new job posting I was able to locate, and I screen printed it. It's on usajobs.gov, and I did the screen print. It's from the CDC. They're hiring people to screen enforcement officers for CV at different locations, and it's an actual job posting. It closes out today, and it's nationwide. And I did some screen prints on that, and I put it on my tracking. I have a CV tracking website. I put that on there. And I also put this really hot topic of it. They're infecting cats with CV, injecting them with the CV virus, and that's interesting that they're actually doing experimentation on cats. So I was like, And they're finding out that the cats are spreading it to people, and people are spreading CV to cats. So like, So that's very, very interesting, and then that's not being talked about. So hopefully that can be spread out on social media networks and be talked about, those two hot topics, and you talk about those things.
So wait a second. you are the one that started the CV outbreakmap.com. Is that your website?
Yes, I did. I started that in about January of this year. So I've been doing that faithfully and trying to get news that's not being talked about, like that cat, for instance. They're infecting cats with it and different things. It's really great to actually call in and get a hold of you tonight, Marv.
Well, so because I didn't you do Ebola as well? You did some others before this?
Yeah, I did. Well, I started out with the Ebola outbreakmap.com website, and that's kind of been on the back burner. But this month we had an outbreak in Africa again of Ebola. It's been 2 weeks now. We had an outbreak of Ebola back in Africa. World Health Organization, they started, I don't know what happened. They said there was an outbreak, so there is. So that's on the forefront now, too. So we got Ebola in Africa and CV. So, wow. But if any of you all could help out, I need, if you got a news story or whatnot, it's kind of constraining. I'm just the only person doing it, And if anybody else can help out with information or stories, things of that nature, it's really hard when you're devoting all your time to tracking viruses, it really kind of runs you down,
Well, no.
Thinking about it all the time.
And Jacob, I understand that you've been doing this for at least a while, because I remember seeing your stuff maybe 2 years ago. So you've been running this thing for over a year at least, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, the Ebola for 4 years, and the CV since January. And if I can give everybody out the website name one more time, I would appreciate it. It's just called coronavirusoutbreakmap.com.
All right. Well, Jacob, thanks for calling in. People will make sure to check it out. Again, it does say it's that's weird. It said there's risk, but then it's a secure website. So must have been the site. It does that with ours too. There was one part of it that we didn't have like that. So make sure.
I do have SSL on there. It's stayed up for the year. I don't know. People should read about infecting cats with CV. It's pretty inhumane. Injecting cats with CV, and I don't know why they would do that for.
All right. Well, Jacob, thank you for your call, and again, for your website, I will make sure to check it out. I think I checked out the last one. Obviously, you're doing multiple, and you've got multiple projects going there. So thank you so much for calling, Jacob, and you have a great day. All right, and then let's see here. I'm just going to go over to this. All right. now up next we have James. I'm going to pull James in just a second. I wanted to show you guys. Actually, I might even pull up. I think it was on the first. So some of our friends have been kind of covering this. Also, I wanted to point you guys to, let's see here. Oh, why does it do that? Over to Israeli News Live. And the reason why is he said, so over the last 2 years, I've watched Stephen Ben-Nun off and on. But again, this gentleman has said things about 7 or 8 months ago. I got some information directly from somebody who is kind of a middle person for 2 different agencies. And they said it word for word. It was something that was definitely up on the higher tier. And then Stephen Ben-Nun actually said it almost word for word on his show. So I knew that Stephen Ben-Nun was talking to people that are extremely high up. One thing that he had going for him much before I did, it took about a year for us to get really, really solid sources. I, of course, had my family source, and we had a couple of friends and family. Now we have hundreds and hundreds of sources, was because of how we looked. Stephen Ben-Nun had really good sources right off the bat. Most of it is because he looks like a school professor. So I'm sure in the very beginning, he already had kind of a reputation of, he didn't look like a dummy. I mean, it might even, it's not even on purpose. This gentleman is a very smart man. All these books behind, he does read. Again, some might be off or on about what he does. What I do know 100% though, is that he's got some amazing sources. He's called things 3 or 4 times before they've happened over in a different country in a different time zone. So if you know that, and if you've watched him for a long time, then you kind of get it. But again, Stephen Ben-Nun said exactly what I've heard. You guys got to watch this video. It says phone outages expected. Electric grid is next. It's all part of a, I'll just say a theory, right? Go watch it. Definitely want to shout that out. As far as some other things, we'll get into that. James, you are live on Marfoogle News.
What is good, my man?
How are you doing, James?
Doing good, man. Doing good. How are you?
Good. So it says that you actually want to talk about video inside of CHAZ.
Yeah, so I heard you mention earlier, actually I have a couple of quick things, but I heard you mention earlier about that. And there's a YouTuber, Joey Gibson, Patriot Prayer, and he went there today, and I guess he was able to reach out to the right people, and they actually gave him a tour inside of, whatever you call it, CHAZ or whatever they're calling it now, which I thought was really, really interesting. He ended up doing 3 different live streams, which one thing I thought was amazing was they act like there's these crazy barricades, but the barricades you could literally step right over. Police are allowed to come in there. A lot of misconceptions it seemed like, but just seeing it was pretty crazy.
What? How? Okay, when did the change happen that police are allowed in there? I mean, that is the one rule that they have. I know first responders like fire department. When did that change? Did they just say this today?
Well, I know he was talking about it in his live stream that there's this misconception that cops aren't allowed in there, but the cops have been in there. I know they went in there, I think it was 1 or 2 days ago, to go get files out of the precinct that was abandoned. But I'm not sure. I don't want to speak on exactly what else might have happened, but I know he was mentioning something else about getting proof that cops have actually been able to go in there. So pretty interesting.
Okay, because I get that. I could see how the protesters would say, hey, you guys can come in the back door or whatever and grab your stuff, because it doesn't really look, I mean, it's not like they won over the police. The police voluntarily did it under the order of our mayor. Like our mayor told them to. Even the chief doesn't look like she meant to do that. So it's just all weird.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Now, another thing I wanted to tell you is I seen this on Craigslist today, and this is really shocking. Honestly, it kind of something I tweeted out, and I said I thought I seen it all. But the title of this is patient positive people needed as test subjects, and it says if you've been diagnosed with having it and you want to make a difference, we're hiring 20 people for a large-scale event this Saturday. People with bad coughs preferred, and it says to meet at the Tulsa Bach Center Saturday night, which happens to be where the president will be having a rally. I mean, I can't believe that would be true. I mean, that is probably one of the horriblest things I've ever heard of.
So bringing them to where they're going to be to try to get those, is that what you're saying? Like to get those people sick? Is that?
I mean, I don't know what their meaning behind it would be. I don't know if they're, trying to, what their meaning behind it would be, but they do want people to go there basically to infect people is what I got out of it, I mean, the fact that was actually on there on Craigslist, I screenshot it before it was taken down, but it was up for almost 14 hours. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. Well, again, with everything that's going on, I wouldn't be surprised by anything. Nothing sounds too nuts at this point. Honestly, we've had a just absolute ton of stuff happening. I was gonna, with NK and everything that's going on over there as well. There's some tie-ins to kind of what you're saying politically. So, but we'll probably save that. James, is there one more thing you want to say before you go?
Just last thing, man, I just wanted to thank you for what you do, man. I mean, honestly, I think you've actually taught me or gave me the inspiration to speak up a little bit. I have YouTube channels and DLive. Actually, this is James the Fam, if you know.
Oh,
Fam,
okay.
James.
Yeah. What's up? No, I did not know that this was Jay. Yeah, I've seen you for a long time now. So.
Yeah. I've been on DLive since it first started. But yeah, man, honestly, I've kind of, my channel on YouTube and stuff with about 450,000 followers, it's not about politics. It's not about, anything of my opinion. It's about entertainment pretty much. And I just think that with the things that are happening right now, with the deterioration of the entire country just, falling apart, I think it's everybody's duty. If you have a platform to speak up, I think you need to speak up, and those that don't, just because they're worried about losing followers or, because certain people won't like it. I mean, honestly, that's so last year, man. It's time for people to, speak up, talk the truth, and obviously we're not getting it from any other sources. And I just wanted to thank you for what you do, man. It's a big inspiration, and keep doing your thing, man.
And James of Him, I know you gave us Joey Gibson's Patriot Prayer, so I'm definitely putting this up on. And again, I don't know if the gentleman that gave him the tour, this might be that the warlord gentleman that they talk about, CHAZ. I don't know if that's him. I haven't seen pictures of him. I just read.
It was a guy that was, yeah. If you'll see it in the video, because he was walking around. But I guess there was these two women that were there that were preaching on the street, like outside of CHAZ, and I guess they're allowed to go inside. And he got in with them. And then he got in, and he kind of got into some arguments with some people, but they kept the dialogue pretty good without freaking out. And I thought it was really interesting. So you might want to check that out later.
And then do you have a channel, James, you said?
Yeah, on YouTube or DLive?
On either.
Both. DLive is James the Fam, and YouTube is The Fam. Like as in the family, the fam.
Okay. Well, we'll make sure to put your channel name, and again, you said we'll end up putting your link along with Joey Gibson's link on here.
Worries, man.
I just wanted to make sure we got that.
Man. I ain't worried about me, man. I'm just happy to help. I love what you're doing, man, and spreading the word, and it's people need to stop, worrying about themselves and stop worrying about, our futures, our kids' futures, things like that.
Wait a second. So you're The Fam? Is that your channel?
Yeah, that's my channel.
Oh, okay. So
Actually, you came into my live stream on D-Live once. I think you dropped like 8 ninja guineas on me or something. Me and my girlfriend, Chelsea Luna.
dude, I had no idea. You've been watching for that. You've been watching, and then I didn't know that was you. Yeah. I that is so crazy. So you're almost at 500,000. It's so cool to meet people like this.
Yeah, really close.
I didn't know that for D-Live either. I just supported because I knew that you guys were in that kind of the whole crew of the paranormal and stuff. That's really awesome, man. Thank you for calling
really cool.
in.
Friend of. Yeah, man, definitely. I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate what you do, and I hit up Dex. Maybe talk to him later. I also sent you a DM about something you might be interested in. But yeah, man, it just, dude, I love what you're doing. It gives me inspiration to do it, and it's kind of like I've already started talking on my platforms about some things where before I'd have been worried about it or what people would say. And honestly, I'm starting to get over that phobia, which
well then
is,
I know, and it's scary. It's scary, but at this point too, you know, I used to never say anything. Now I'm pretty much I had to speak up on some things, but we should collaborate. And then I told you there's stuff in Seattle. Like I hope you ever come to Seattle because, like I said, there's
Pike Place. That's where you were.
There's Pike Place Market
that.
and all sorts of haunted stuff. So, anyways, that's why I reached out to you in the first place. I thought it would be cool if you guys came out.
This year.
All right. Well, cool, man.
Seattle this year, actually.
Well, hey, thank you for calling in, James. I didn't put two and two together, but either way, I appreciate you being here.
Hey, I was keeping it secret. I wasn't trying to advertise myself. So even Dex, when I was talking, I was like, "Nah, you don't have to put James a fam. Just it ain't about me, you know." But it's good to talk to you, man, and finally talk to you. And yeah, dude, I'll definitely hit you up before we head out to Seattle, and we'll set something up.
All right, cool. Well, thank you, man. Have a good night. Be safe. Be prepared. And Marf out.
You too. All right, man.
That's actually how I am too. If I go into a chat or something, and if you do have any kind of a sizable channel, it kind of stops everything up. Then if the person, if they do have somebody slightly bigger in their channel, then they feel like they have to stop talking about, you know, most of the time we are there to watch the channel. So we want to see the creator talk instead of them stopping to greet us and to talk about it. And then it totally takes the entire thing off of topic. I watched James the Fam and then his girlfriend, I believe. They have all sorts of different channels and stuff, but mostly I've been supporting all the D-Livers that are coming over here. It seems like there's a lot of people that are pushing towards D-Live again. You know, if they could have full on like a regular service where you upload regular videos, I think that, you know, it very well could go into further places, but we'll see. Again, thanks for stopping by, James. Foogle fan, thank you for supporting so much, and especially with the gifted subscriptions. That's something that, you know, not only helps us, but it also helps anybody there. Then they get to have that badge. It sets them apart. So thank you. Liberal Tears, Servant Watcher just followed. Bread KRMT Dirtbike 1, thank you for being here. Big Ashmo, Prodigal, Sunbear, thank you. Careless America, thank you for just following. Jesus 1023, thank you for following. Geez, a lot of new people. So I don't know if somebody's probably hosting me and I didn't say thank you. Kelly 2334, thank you. Lala Duty, it's official. Soup and Poop, thank you guys, and thank you for all the new followers. Hanging Banksters, YouTube admin, what's going on? All right, and then yeah, that's super cool. All right, you guys, again, it's not hard to find. I thought that there was going to be 1 million, but the fam, easy to go to. You got the verified check mark. That is one thing I didn't get. Both of my channels over 100,000. I still don't have the check marks. It's pretty dumb. Okay, let's see here. Next up, we've got Giant Tyrant. Giant Tyrant. I'm going to pull up this. High Impact Flicks is in here too, man. We've got a bunch of big names. Thank you guys for coming out and supporting. Hey, I love you, man. Appreciate your content. Never give up, says Brian from High Impact Flicks, who he himself is over 500,000. He's got a lot of cool followers. Got an awesome fam. Sammy Lee, thank you for following as well. Redrick, thank you for celebrating a 1-month sub streak. I am going to get over to YouTube as well. I appreciate you guys. I missed a few there. I'm going to make sure to make a point out of it to get back to all of the people that ended up helping over on on YouTube. It sure seems to be headed that way, Adam. It says One Hip Chick, Leslie Goth, Slim Shady. Just remember, they're all in on it. Agreed there. Backass Words Weird World, which also has a really cool channel, says Love Paranormal also. James the Fam, I'm part of the fam, says Debbie Wallace. We've got a James the Fam fan. Thomas Pomeroy, Lone Ju Down. Awesome. Toss Dare loves God's plan. Thank you guys. Okay, Giant Tyrant, you're live on Marfoogle News.
Hey Adam, how are you doing?
Good. How are you? So let me pull up your card.
How's it going? Oh, doing pretty good. I got a video of a SpaceX launch like 3 days ago.
Oh, okay. I'll pull it up.
It was a morning launch. It was just a regular launch for satellites. They weren't putting people up on this one.
Okay, let me see here.
I got some pretty crazy footage on there. The timestamp would be around like 2 minutes, I think.
And now, is this your video? This is Giant Tyrant. So this is your video.
Yeah, this is my video. I live in South Florida. I drove up there for the launch. I try to go to all of them.
Okay, so and I have
That's
your
the beginning of
your
it right
verbal
there.
permission.
It's pretty cool. Right through the like second or third set of cloud, it does this weird like waving pulse.
Oh,
you can fast forward at like 20 seconds or 30 seconds.
You future reference, manual focus would have been awesome. Hold on, let's see.
Yeah.
I hate that when I have my autofocus and it breathes like that. Okay, so go into 20 seconds or what?
Yeah.
Or a minute and 20.
Actually, you could just let it play. The next set of clouds right there. Watch how it pulses the light through the cloud. This isn't what I was trying to show you. I was just saying to watch this part because you're already here. But the next one will be in 2 minutes.
Wow, it looks like a giant sperm. Not to be offensive.
Yeah. It really looks like that after the plume, the cloud plume.
Let's see here.
I think it might have already passed it. You could just fast forward it to about 2 minutes.
All right, let's see here. Whoa. What kind of camera did you use?
This is a Nikon L820. It's not anything fancy at all.
Wait a second.
It's got a zoom and a focus. But...
Sorry, 1 second. Yeah. It froze, so nobody's watching the video as it's supposed to be. So hold on. Don't know why it did that.
Yeah, it's
stuck on a solid. So let's see here. We've got this. I'll make sure to get it back on there. Let's see here. Watch. Okay, it says airtime. There we go. Now it's back. I'm gonna show you guys again. This really does look amazing. So watch this.
Oh, it gets way better. I got UFOs or angels or something. I don't know what it is.
It's so cool.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, yeah.
It's so cool. They don't want it shown. Hold on, give me a minute. I see what you're talking about too.
This is going to be the wildest thing you've ever seen on a space launch. At least this is crazy.
Why is it doing this? Something is slowing down here. Hold on. What the hell is going on here? Sorry about this, guys. It is a live show. You never know what's going to happen.
What is up? And we so down. Time to reunite and fight this. Gaslighted and divided. Time to reunite and fight this.
1 second. I'm going to pull you back here in a second. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing what you're talking about. And again, I muted you just for a second so I can figure out what the heck the problem is here. Everybody has to see this. This is really cool. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? Dude, this like killed it. I tried that, guys. I know people are saying refresh. Oh, trust me, I did. Yeah, the thing is it's not the website, it's the actual OBS here. Hold on. It's going to screw up the whole show if I don't get it fixed, so. Okay. Well, Giant Tyrant, it doesn't look like I'm going to be fixing this right now, so I don't know what's going on with that. And it's.
Well, I gotta show this to everybody. This video is wild.
Well, I'm gonna
later on in the show.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I might not be able to play anything, including my articles. But good thing I got through all of the articles. Let's see here. Come back. Oh, there we go. We got it. All I had to do was leave out of it.
Cool.
Okay, so now, all right. Sorry about that, guys. It is a live show. You never know what's going to happen. Now you can kind of explain this. About the first one.
Right there, that's where I was saying how the light pulses through that cloud. I just thought that was really strange. And then the next few clouds, it doesn't have a pulse, it just goes through it. It's that one cloud, it like pulses a light wave through it.
I get what you're saying. And then later on, this is where it really gets crazy. So I'll go to 2 minutes. Look at how this looks. I've never seen one of these in person. Dex went to one in person, but it was during the day. So during the night, these things look absolutely crazy.
That I would say that's the firmament right there, riding through the firmament. It looks like a boat with making a wake through the ocean.
Whoa, look at that. It looks like a jellyfish now.
Yeah, and you can't see that very well with your eye. I mean, you can see it a little bit, but it just looks like a blue streak. But when you zoom in on it, and you can see that, it's wild.
Okay, and then that's weird. So then it doesn't have, it has less atmosphere. It almost looks like it's going back down.
Yeah, it's not going out to where they say.
Well, what they say.
Behind it, do you see that dot behind it? It looked like another blue trail right behind the rocket. I think that's something chasing it possibly. And you're going to see here in a minute. That's the second stage firing up.
Let's see here. He's talking about this. Okay, then it goes dark.
Oh,
and then I'm going to skip ahead here. And then there's the second stage.
Because you can see another light come out. See how there's a little blue light behind it?
Okay, now I'm going to
that could be part of the flame, but... Yeah, there you go.
Whoa. Did you see that? Wait a second. There's like a pulse.
Yeah, see that light comes out of nowhere? There's a little faint light, and it comes out of nowhere.
Wait
and
a
it gets
second.
brighter, and then there's another one, and it shoots a flashing pulse at it.
It looks like somebody...
And these things are like moving close.
It looks like a spray bottle, like somebody goes, psst. Watch this right here. Psst. Watch right here. Psst. I got it.
And there's only 2 side boosters. I count 3 other lights besides the main rocket booster right there.
Is the blue
There's
light?
3 lights.
Is the blue light on the front of the rocket then? That because the spray is back here.
Yeah, but
how did you even
why
see
are they
this?
shooting? They're like shooting plasma, or I don't know what the. I don't know what I've seen, but I caught a good video of it.
Now a third one is popping out.
Now,
how did you catch
see
this?
how that thing's moving closer to it too? Did you notice that? It's literally moving closer to the rocket, and it's going to move like left and right and then forward a little bit.
I have no idea how you were able to get this. This is like 10 minutes into the flight. Like,
I know. That's the other thing too that I didn't understand is see how many separate lights there are. There's only supposed to be 2 side boosters, but they're only lasting for 5 minutes or so. This is 9 minutes into flight. And it's going to start pulsing, and there's going to be like pulse waves coming out of it too. It looks like they're trying to open a portal or something. It's weird.
This is so weird. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not an expert. This could be totally normal. Somebody could go, "You're such a dummy."
Watch the little one blow it. Look at the little one.
How far away
when
is
it
this?
zoomed back in, it looked like an angel. This is from like 15 minutes south of where they launched from. Yeah, watch that. And can you rewind it to where I zoomed out and then zoom back into it? You could see it looks like an angel's wings with the way the pulse wave of light comes off of it.
Oh, I see exactly what you're talking about. Hold on.
And then...
Oh, my gosh. Look at that. That's cool.
Yeah.
So right here, look at the bottom one, right?
Yeah.
And then he zooms
right
back in, and then look at this one. He's gonna.
And it made a cloud afterwards that stayed for like 30 minutes in a shape of an angel. I got pictures of it and sent it to Dex on text message, but it wouldn't load for him.
This one right there. Did you guys see that?
I'll try and send those to you guys tomorrow or something. Yeah, it's doing it again.
That's a trip.
Those are supposed to. The side boosters are supposed to turn around and come back to Earth rocket fast, not hover around the main booster for 5 minutes and do this light show.
I just saw another little poof out of the middle one. I see. I don't know what I'm looking at exactly, but if you're
if you watch like the SpaceX video live or like what they're saying that they're doing, and you watch their video, you don't see any of this stuff.
Well, no, I've never seen anything like it.
They don't have. Yeah.
And then let's see here, Giant Tyrant. So we're going to share this on our website so everybody can go and look at it for yourself. What you're going to want to do is turn it up to the highest resolution and then go in and actually zoom in. Might even want to do it on a big screen. I see exactly what you're talking about. When you see it on my screen, which it's gonna port out to 720 for 1080 on YouTube, but 720 on others, I can see it, but I don't know if that translates to the cell phones you guys are watching it on. If it does, let me know in the chat, because we don't actually always know. Giant Tyrant, thank you so much for calling. We've got Nathaniel right behind you.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
But I appreciate your call, and I appreciate your video. This is awesome. Thank you for doing that. And then if you get a cool video in the future, let us know first, and we'll show it on the show. I'd love to, if we would.
Did you share my YouTube page with people so they can go back on there and look at it?
It's all going to be on the website. Again, all of this, and then it's not giant as in GIANT. And you actually haven't been love mobbed yet. So Giant Tyrant looks like he's only at 10 so far. So let's go check him out. Love mob the heck out of him. Make sure to go check it out.
I've only got one.
That's
I've only
okay.
got one video right now, but I've got a bunch of videos I'm going to upload. I bought a laptop just after that launch just to upload that video. so I could get it out. But,
okay, you guys,
I got a bunch of videos.
Go to this video, Angels Pulsing Light at Falcon Rocket as it rides from the firmament. Go over and subscribe, and I will check on this video at the end during the shoutro, and I'll see where he's at. Sometimes we've actually gotten them to 1,000 in one show before the end of the show. I don't know if that will happen, but again, let's do something that can change somebody's life, and it takes us nothing. All right, Giant Tyrant, thank you for calling in tonight. I appreciate you. Next up, we've got Nathaniel. Nathaniel, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Hello?
Nathaniel, you're live on Marfoogle News.
Hi, how you doing, Marv?
How are you? So it says here that you are actually going to be talking about positive appreciation. What's up with that? First time caller out of Oregon.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you for having me. First of all, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Foogle, who turned me on to you to begin with, and just showing a little appreciation there for him putting your name out there and everything that you and Dex and all the mods do, and just being that guy that's willing to just stick your neck out there for the information that, we need, especially at times like this. So, that first, and then, second, just, love to my family, wife and kids, just sending positive energy out there. But yeah, just basically I keep this short. I just want to say, now is a time in the world where we need to stick together. We need to get the kind of information out that you're willing to stick your neck out there for, and Dex and all the mods that put your good name and, your family, there's just a lot at risk when it comes to the kind of information that you put out there. So just appreciate that. And, just remind everyone that now is probably
you cut out there. Do you have T-Mobile by chance? Do you have T-Mobile by chance? I don't know what that last part was. Go ahead though, Nathaniel. Nathaniel.
In the world where yes,
we're not hearing half of what you're saying. The phone's cutting out. Maybe go by a window or switch to landline. I'm just kidding.
Landline. Is that any better?
Yeah, nobody has one of those anyways. Yeah, no, that's much better. No, so you're just saying positive appreciation. Well, one thing that I have to, I've been saying is, why are we not, I guess I wish everybody in the world almost kind of had a near-death experience, because it really does make you appreciate everything that's here. Like, we're being kind of unappreciative of what we do have here. And we need to try to get back to that and really talk with each other and appreciate the time that we have to talk and hear other opinions and things like this. So.
Exactly. And that was, I couldn't have said it better myself, Marv. Just, like you were saying at the beginning of the show, whatever percentage that was of Americans are unhappy. And I mean, I'd like to believe that the world is always going to be rainbows and Skittles and all that kind of stuff, but I think it's not so much a level of unhappiness as it is a level of being unhumble and unappreciative for who and what we do have. Your show, I mean, I'm standing out in my buddy's backyard, just looking at a beautiful sunset right now, just appreciating what is here and, just what we can give, what we can share, how we can grow together and become the way that I believe the world should be,
Well, think about it this way too. Say you had an accident where you went completely deaf, and then, 3 years goes by, you learn sign language, you learn everything else, and then some miracle technology pops something in, and all of a sudden you can hear again. Would you be excited to, even if you were going to be hearing somebody complain or say something you don't agree with, wouldn't you just be excited just to hear that person talking and saying their opinion? I mean, people just don't truly have an appreciation for every single minute we have on this earth is a blessing. And people say they do, but then they don't. They really don't. So that's the kind of way I look at it.
Yep. And exactly. And I've unfortunately had a few near-death experiences during my lifetime, a few of them self-destructive ones, and just being able to, I should be drinking through a straw right now, steak through a straw for the rest of my life. Like the fact that I get to wake up, one more day and hug my kids, kiss my woman, tell my grandmother I love her, just things like that we tend to take advantage of. And just, so yeah, just wanted to put out some positive energy and let you know that I appreciate everything that you do, and just keep it up, because you're one of a kind, and I'm sure you hear it quite often, but yeah, I just wanted to say I appreciate you and everything that y'all do.
Well, thank you, Nathaniel, and thank you for calling in, and thank you for being positive. Again, everybody is so negative right now. It's a breath of fresh air. You have a great night, and again, get out there and just make changes. It does matter. I've proven it. I used to do videos in my car. I'm sure James the Fam and Brian from High Impact Flicks, they all just started doing little stuff, and it now we have the power to change the world. So can you, and so can everybody watching this show. I appreciate it, and you have a good night, okay? Thank you so much.
You too.
All right, good night, Nathaniel.
Thank you.
T. Borey, what's over on YouTube? Rip Curl is in the house. My rippiest mod. I'll say that. See, and Alice is my Alicey mod. The most Alice that you can get as far as an Alice goes, pretty much, except for the other Alice. Yeah. Mike Palmer, I have a landline. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to embarrass you. Just kidding. Allison Wonderland subbed, talking about our friend over there at Giant Tyrant. Make sure to also... Oh, Conquest Josh is here. Another great channel. We've got so many creators here. Also, to the creators that haven't joined yet, make sure to join our Discord. You can go to marfooglenews.com. We have a creators corner. And mostly, again, for a small creator and you don't know nothing about anything, there are other creators that just did it last week or just started a month ago and they didn't know. It's a lot easier when you have somebody that, you can ask and go, hey, does anybody know why I can't get, this to show up on OBS? That's the kind of thing we opened it up for, so people could spread their message and grow their channels inside of the Foogle fam. We're also building a whole lot of other stuff for the community, so if you wanted to buy something from another Foogle family member, I'm cut out. I don't have anything to do with it. You, instead of buy tires from discount conglomerate corporation jerkhead over here, you buy it from Tim's tire shop, and you might pay a couple extra dollars. You might pay shipping, but you get it through a Foogle family member here in the United States or over in Europe if you're over in Europe, in Australia if you're in Australia, and we support each other. So we look out for each other, and we look out for everybody in our group, no matter who they are. Okay, you guys. Sherry Harper, Rebecca Fisher, backwards, word ass things. I love all you guys. Let's see here. I think what ended up happening is I lost my little chat thingy. Loves God's Plan. Let me pop over to D Live as well. Pop Renegade PD, Maui Racing Realtor, Solar Doberman, all-time leading Amy R, N Times, Carol Palmer 512, Damon Draco. Thank you all for everything you guys have done for the channel. Gone Girl number 777 is our top this month. And this stream, Gone Girl is our number 1 contributor. Foogle Fan is number 2. Watch Wolf is number 3. Kihaja Fly Girl is number 4. And Plumber Bill is number 5. I'm sure there's 6 through 10 here, which we are actually working on another project as well. April Osborne, thank you so much for being here tonight. Australian Patriot, I love beagles. Remember, check out April Osborne. She's been through a lot. She's been through cancer. She's been through radiation. She is a creator. She does panels. She does all sorts of cool stuff. Over on DLive, you can just click on their name and visit channel. High Impact Flick says, really good vibes, my friend. Good stuff. Let's light brush fires of freedom in the minds of all. I hope I didn't. That's probably a long time ago, huh? I'm sorry. I missed that. Cam Key, we've got Bogstown, Enchanted Bayou. Thank you guys for all your support. It is really killer to have a family like you guys behind me. There's nothing like it. There really isn't. I never knew 3 years ago that this would ever happen. Again, with the new Faraday bags from EDEC, you remember if you add, you get 10% off if you do the code Marfoogle. Again, with Nord, if you guys want to actually support us through Nord, you can actually do that as well. That is actually special code, always Marfoogle. So you put that in any of these different products, you get a discount. Marfooglenews.com/VPN. Obviously, we're all on our networks. We're all on the internet, so you should be protecting yourself. Thank you, guys. Companies like this, when you buy them, not only do you get a discount, but you're supporting a show and an independent a journalist agency like us. We're trying to expand. We're trying to bring more people on. You help us do so. So thank you. And again, we're trying to help other channels come up as well. We've helped over 400 channels get monetized and grow to over 1,000 subscribers. So that's a big deal. Giant Tyrant, for example. Hopefully, a lot of you went over. I'm going to end up checking on this. I'm going to end up refreshing this. And I bet you we're going to see a bunch of Foogle family members head right over to see that video. Hopefully. Looks like he just got a couple. In fact, he got 370 people just went over. And this is why I love this community. So we're going to go to this video again, and then we're going to scroll down. And all I ask from Giant Tyrant is that you don't disagree with me after 4 videos and make hate things. Oh my gosh, comments are turned off. I don't even think he... Oh, I think they might have called him a kid channel or something. I don't know. Anyways, comments are turned off. But, yeah. If you can, Giant Tyrant, try to turn those on. I don't know if there was a reason behind that. But again, 387 subscribers in about 5 minutes, I think. So that's pretty flippin' amazing. 390. That's another 13 in about 5 seconds. You guys can check that out again. Look at that video. He's got a great camera. If he's going to be doing all of the SpaceX, we're going to be going back to him and checking in with him for all of the SpaceX launches. All right, you guys, have a great night. Be safe. Dex, you are the man. You are the only man. You are something.
Love you, Adam.
That almost sounded CHAZzy. All right. Marf out. Time for the shoutro. It's not an outro. It's not a shout out. It's a shoutro. It's where I say thank you to all of the wonderful people that really matter. You.
Is here to tell you what is up, and we so down. Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up, and we so down. Time to reunite and fight this. Gaslighted and divided. Time to reunite and fight this. Gaslighted and divided. Time to reunite and fight this. Gaslighted and divided.
I was blessed in a bad life as Cadillac, butterfly blab, and that Travis Morse. Butterfly babe and the funky blue with the Julie Redmond and everybody too with the adorned one and the new layout. Gotta bring it back and we know we shall. Gotta do what we do, gotta love to. And everybody knew what is up. Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up. Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up. Somebody special in the Art Jackson, Laura Griffith with the N Golden 03, and the Rachel 43, and the Mininator and the Checkawa, Kristana with the girl, and the L.A. Rose and the Mr. Pearl, and gotta bring it back, and you know this girl, gotta go with her, does a cat mom in everybody's world. And divided, time to reunite and fight this. Gaslighted and divided, time to reunite and fight this. Gaslighted and divided, time to reunite and fight this. Gaslighted and divided, time to reunite and fight this. Gaslighted and divided. Just here to tell you what is up. And we so down. Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up. And we so down. Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up. And we so down. With the master at 69 and everybody's got the time to do something, but they don't have the Mandy with the hey Greg or two back ass words, weird world and the duty yo. Everybody chilling out with the Stamper Love with the Mem Corey, and everybody's got their own story. We sing just like this. Gaslighted and divided, time to reunite and fight this. Gaslighted and divided. CJ Blaze, I've got ways, I've got the scrap you duculous Johnny Doom, and you gotta get it too, and you do what you do. Gotta bring it back, and you gotta see this with the Johnny Doom and the Phil Billy. Peaceful waters gotta go, Xanadu and a Xanadu. Hey, don't you wanna say everything is gonna okay? Rizar in the stratosphere, one more mom and no fear. I gotta love the way, gotta love the day, everything. Yo, bells, you gotta say it, gotta bring it back and you gotta say it. I'm a Ken irrelevant, gotta go, and now the reverend is saying it no like small. Or maybe 3 more, still let it bring it back round, got that jelly. Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up. Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up. Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up. Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up. Marfoogle News is here to tell you what is up. Gotta rock that. Is here to tell you what is up. I almost didn't know what happened there. It was Javar bringing it back round and causing no harm. Gotta do it all the way back down like Sam Family, and the echo comes right on back. Gotta change it out.
justice, justice. Now to get up for George Floyd. Bring it right back, and you know it right now. I'm about to go back and they go pow pow. It's all about why do everybody go down the street and destroy? Isn't this for the justice, justice? Now to get up for George Floyd. One, two to the 3, 4. Coming right back like Patty 1970. Osborne's mom, need water. I log in the Connie Tucker with the RJack and the T-Maury and the Earth Woman. Everybody wanna see. Shout out to James the Fam. Everybody's like, oh damn, they're a lover and under 2000. With the side of the coffee, gotta hit it back, wow, pop me and it made me. Hey, maybe my earphones are about to start popping like the peaceful waters. Gonna bring it back like Erica Lombardo, harder. Gonna bring it up harder. Got a Xanadol, got a piano with the background. With the sweet ram stamp, but love meant well and one epic by 8 1 now. Everybody really wanna go. Everybody really wanna go. Go, go. Oh boy, why do everybody go down the street and destroy? Isn't this for the justice, justice? Now to get up for George Floyd. Bring it right back, and you know it right now. I'm about to go back and they go pow pow. Oh boy, gotta go, gotta hate. Huckleberry Hound, ooh, gotta bring it down. I love Beagles. I'm about to bring back Kobe Jack, and I do it like that. Felicia had it off the top of the head like a W with the Pep Mike and the Tartan Grand E.
High impact flicks and them homies got that Chippewa and the doggies.
Everybody really want it, coming back around, no flaunting. Everybody wanna check it out now, eh, oh, eh, oh. Don't know what to do. Eat 9 like they know now, not like that. 39, 24, 24. Look at that, 24. You know this one. Got baked off Billy egg dropped up. Pep that on that T4 yo. Got restrained.I.O. Gotta go back now, you know flow. Professor red butterfly. Girl, oh girl, and intent fire. Gonna bring back now, you know. Gotta get that intended by yo. Gotta bring back now. A special shout out to Jack Granquist. He's a VIP in the room. Very special man there. Gotta hit it back, do it just like you did before. K-L-F-F with the Emma did. A.R. Jackson, the tall tinker water. Go back now, go back round. It's hotter and the pandemic. Be a bad mascot, take the mask off. 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 Be a bad mascot, take the mask off.
What do you think we should do next? Crescendo? Put in crescendo if you want to hear crescendo. Linda Hernandez gonna go bring it. And go no 3C, gonna sing it. King Cuts, Lucky Ticket 2, gonna bring it to you. Gotta give barefoot, glass, and Ivy rules. I'm gonna do it like nobody says. Gonna do it back like Drop Dead Fred. You asked for it.
Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News, Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News, Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News, roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News.
Got the lucky ticket to Angela M. Gonna bring it like Olga brains down with Misty, Lever, and the R-Jacks. Gonna do it like we never did before. And the S Cadillac and the Butterfield Bay. Gonna go back and we got different ways. We can go to Julie A with the Redmond and not do what they say. Funky blue and do what you do. Travis Morse and the rest of the horse. Gonna go back and do what we do. Got to say I love you.
Outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams. Looking outside of my window, seeing a crescendo. I'm not going out there where apocalypse roams.
We've got the vibe, you know that we've got now. And I never forget a crystal pool when they do that. Girl, and Shirley Angel, you've got to see everything is peaceful. Gotta stop it now and now. Bear Lover and the Kobe Jack now. Huckleberry sound. Kick it all the way back down. Gotta say I love you now. Got to go down and flow. Got to have my Karen low. Got my dancing Foogle fan. All just makes me say oh damn. Got that Jesse Lynn. Got to bring it back all the way now you know. Oh, oh, oh,
Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News, Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News, Marfoogle News, where are you? Only news I use. Marfoogle News, Marfoogle News, where are you?
in the Fred Blappers happened? Gosh, it was almost like somebody came in here and just punched me in the sound face. Gosh, what the heck is going on here? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah.
I just want to fly. Kobe Jack. Everybody really wanna go back now. Jimmy the Lift, thank you for stopping now. Hey King, cause Felicia and Patty 1970. I'm gonna go back now. Hey, I'm gonna go back and see anything that I want with Mary. Let's say the way it went was somewhere else and they did something else. And you know, it's never the same. It's a shout show, never the same. It's a shout show, never the same. It's a shout show, and it's made by you, stamped luck. It's made by you, twisted luck. Until tomorrow we reign. Kobe Jack, and you know we add a super impasse. They've got no class, they've been punching their class. All the way night they're going down and do what we make the sound. If you ever wanted to bring me to my knees, I would not, unless you are God. And no one else has made me kneel down, unless it's of sound, mind, body, and soul. Don't you go and tell me that I am nothing when I am something. Oh, it's all of the talk. Those bear lovers out there, and they know Felicia 84 red horn gotta go, and I love the Beagles better than I could down. Australian patriots all around that corner, and we know down, we way down, that it's coming for you, and you won't see until the end where it's truly going. If I could be there with you, I would say, 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 I would say. Now we're gonna be hosting the Ugly Chew over on the live. So if you don't like, then just turn off the low. Oh, turn off the show. Tonight we had 7,500 people watching live. So I appreciate you, I really do. Please, my best friends. The chest was already open. Thank you for the top contributors. Gone girl, Foogle fan, Watch Wolf, Kahaja man, and Fly Girl, Plumber Bill. Oh, for real.